Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Tincture of Sense. On today's episode, as always, I'm going to be asking you guys a question. So, have you guys ever been to Owerri before, the capital of Imo State? Yes? No? For those of you that said yes, are you one of them? One of who, you may ask? Well, I guess you have to watch one to find out. Owerri is the capital of Imo State in the southeastern region of Nigeria. Imo State is in the heart of Igbo land and is one of the Igbo states in Nigeria. During the Biafran War, Owerri was the last of three cities that served as the capital of the Republic of Biafra. Owerri is a chief trade center for products such as yams, cassava, corn, and palm products for the region in which it is located. A lot of well-known sports personalities such as Canon Nwako, Emmanuel Emenike, and Kelechi Iheanacho are from Owerri. A soup called Ofe Owerri is said to be peculiar to the people of Owerri. The soup is also known as the king of soup, probably because due to its richness which comes from the numerous ingredients that go into making it. In some Igbo communities, beautiful women are sometimes likened to Ofe Owerri. On the surface, it seems Owerri is like any other city in Nigeria, right? Well, if you think this, you'll be wrong. Apparently, beneath the seeming normality of Owerri lies a dirty secret. What's this secret? Drumroll please. Excessive fornication. So much fornication supposedly takes place in Owerri that people have said if fornication generates electricity, Owerri can power Nigeria and 15 other African countries. Really? For people that don't know about the power challenges in Africa, being able to fully power just Nigeria is a very big deal. Now, setting aside the impossibility of harnessing and converting sexual energy to electrical energy, how did the purveyors of this stereotype assess the level of fornication going on across the city? Did they do it via face-to-face interviews? Or online surveys? Or maybe it happened via mass text messages to the inhabitants of Owerri, asking them to indicate if they are fornicators or not? Yeah, that sounds likely, right? Once again, this is a sweeping generalization about an entire city that negatively stereotypes the inhabitants of the city. What evidence is there for this generalization about Owerri and its inhabitants? Well, don't you know that there are loads of hotels and joints in Owerri? There are hotels on almost every street in Owerri, and the people fornicate incessantly in them. Okay, is there something in the water in Owerri that makes the inhabitants extra randy and more susceptible to fornication? To the best of my knowledge, nothing of this nature exists. Anyone has been to Lagos, Abuja, multitude of cities across Nigeria can attest to the proliferation of hotels across these cities. You have 5-star hotels with excellent premises and top-notch service, to no-star hotels where the guests share rooms with roaches, bedbugs, and only God knows what else. Now, despite the fact that hotels are ubiquitous across Nigeria and all manner of shenanigans take place in rooms and suites at these hotels, Owerri is the place that can power Nigeria and 15 other African countries with the level of their fornication. One can only wonder what goes on in the minds of people that come up with such sweeping generalizations. Well, God knows if we don't. Words matter, even though a lot of people don't seem to understand this. Feeling you are right about an issue or thinking something is true doesn't necessarily make it so unless it's backed with empirical evidence. But no, who needs empirical evidence when we can just open our mouths and say whatever we like because there are no consequences for being silly? There should be consequences though, especially when silliness has the potential to become malicious. We're in an age where information about any and every issue or topic is available to us, but misinformation, innuendo, and stereotypes not only persist but are extremely rampant. Quite often, people tend to believe these misinformation, innuendos, and stereotypes more than the truth. The more information we have available to us, the more we believe nonsense. So, people keep coming up with more and more ridiculous assertions to, as they say, chase clout, regardless of the impact they have on individuals, a group of people, or a place. If people don't get more responsible, which I doubt they will, there'll be no light at the end of this tunnel because people will keep saying more irresponsible stuff till things get out of hand and eventually blows up. Some might say, oh, this sounds like scaremongering, fearmongering, and just trying to stop people from saying what they believe. Well, I say spell fearmongering for the people that almost got killed when a lunatic went to shoot up a pizza parlor in Washington, D.C. in the United States of America because irresponsible people kept on shouting and insisting that child traffickers operated out of the pizza parlor. When you finish that, you can also spell scaremongering for the telecoms workers constantly attacked in the United Kingdom because some people, irresponsible people, insist 5G technology causes coronavirus and kills people. Words have consequences, and the consequences shouldn't be just for the people at the receiving end of a stereotype or erroneous belief. It should also extend to the people that originate and perpetuate the stereotype as well. People that in some cases are in significant positions of power but refuse to be responsible. People that say things like, the federal government of Nigeria instituted a lockdown across the country in 2020 because they wanted citizens indoors while 5G infrastructure that kills people was being installed. If the people had revolted against the government and all hell had broken loose, what would this person have said? Oops, sorry, I didn't know people were acting my ridiculous rantings. The good thing is, Nigerian citizens didn't buy the snake oil this person was selling, and the unthinkable didn't happen. Now, we don't need to wait till something terrible happens before we check ourselves though. If we sow the wind, we'll reap whirlwinds. We shouldn't wait till some crazy person that's very much against fornication starts killing people in Owerri before we stop. Or should we? I'm sure you guys get the point, and I've already gotten a tincture of sense from this episode. For people that haven't gotten a tincture of sense, well, I have multiple tinctures from a bottle from you. See? Multiple. This one, you can't take just one from a syringe. You need multiple. Actually, I think you guys need the whole bottle. So on that note, thanks for watching. Look out for our next video next week.